This potty is sponsored by Nighthawks Bar, a neighbourhood bar with awesome staff, friendly owners, and a great beer garden that's always playing sick tunes. They've got good quality booze, a band room, and guess what? Air conditioning. Check out their website and Instagram right now. This podcast is also sponsored by Thin Slizzy, serving Collingwood and surrounding suburbs the tastiest pizzas since 2020. Head over to thinslizzy.com to see for yourself. Now let's get on with the show. Welcome to Left Brain, Right Brain. I'm Right Brain. He's Left Brain. We're having a bit of Groundhog Day. We don't actually have our headphones, so we don't know what we're actually saying or how any of it sounds. We've got Harry as co-host with me.
Hi.
Yeah, he's tired from all the talking you had to do on the other take. And we've got a special guest, Hui Min. Can you please introduce yourself again? I hope you don't have to do this again. I'm literally going to shoot myself if we have to do this again.
Hi, I'm Hui Min, and I'm a graphic designer, and I also work at the honest fan-to-fan marketplace, Tixel.
Is that the slogan?
Yes, it is.
This feels like a choose your way. You just get the best conversation and keep repeating the show. I'm just going to check with Sam and make sure that we are recording. Oh, thank God. Imagine doing that 3 times. So, your work is synonymous with Tixel, right? Because you're the lead designer in Australia. Are you the only designer in Australia for Tixel?
I'm the only designer in Australia at Tixel for now.
Right.
But I guess like I wouldn't say I'm a lead because like I think as a tech company we always have like a UX UI side of design. I'm mainly on like the brand side. So I guess like what I do is basically all the design work for Tixel, basically how we appear and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I also work on like our content strategy and stuff like that. So I have a manager who is our brand and social lead. And she does a lot of like the co-marketing stuff. So whenever we have like anything to do with any of our partners, like any partner festivals, they're like, oh, hey, we want to post this or we want to do this. And then she'll be like, cool. And then she'll go into meetings with them. And then she'll like pass that on to me and be like, oh, can you decide how we look and stuff? So I guess that's mainly what I do. And I also manage the social media. I reply to all your comments. So if you ever comment on our social media, that's me replying. Cool. It's me like talking to random people and they have no idea who I am.
So through you as a designer, your manager connect, like you guys can work together a bit like Left Brain, Right Brain, right? And create something together.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So plug that. So how would you best describe your style? Because for me, like before I met you, obviously I knew what Tixel was. Who doesn't?
Yeah.
I probably used it like... Man, I probably used it like 15 times, honestly. Yeah. I mean, that's...
A lot of Grogan's tickets.
A lot of Grogan's tickets.
The Grogan's actually really like us. Like, they plug us all the time without us asking. So,
really?
like, yeah, they do like us, yeah.
We love the Grogan's. Really? They totally didn't steal one of my videos.
Shut up.
Hey, you're the one who wants to...
Hey, podcast Donnie just left as well.
Bleep it out. How would you best describe your style in Tixel, and how would you sort of say it's changed through working at that company to what it was before?
So I feel like Tixel is like a really interesting one because when they started out, they were called like Vibewire or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you have a hand in being like, hey, by the way, I got something that has a better ring to it?
I'm actually not sure how they changed it. Like all the founders, they can't decide who came up with it. Yeah. So they're always just like, I came up with it, and then someone else is like, no, I did. And it's like, ooh. But then, so it used to be called Vibewire. So whenever we like look on Google, like the entire company is called Vibewire. It hasn't changed. I think they kind of kept it because it was cool. But so basically when I first started out, they got like a designer to do the branding and stuff like that. But because they didn't have a designer in-house, it was really hard for them to like translate that brand into everything that they did. So everyone was kind of just like making do with what they had. So I guess they wanted someone to like come in and decide, okay, like this is what we look like. This is how we show up. This is how we appear on B2B. This is how we appear on D2C. So I guess when I first started out at Tixel, like it was very much still a very like tech company sort of thing. So if you've ever seen like any of the ticketing companies or like any of our competitors like Tickets or Ticket Swap in Europe, or like Viagogo, StubHub, back then when I first started out, they never really had a brand. So they kind of just relied on an artist. So for example, if they ran an ad, they would just like put a picture of the weekend or like put a picture of like an AFL game and be like, hey, like come here to get tickets. Yeah.
Which if you want character, the weekend's probably not. It's not that colourful though. An artist. When you think of Tixel, it's quite colourful, it's quite bold. There's like a pop art kind of edge to it.
So like basically for Tixel, I guess like when I first joined, I was like, oh like I guess I wanted to suss the vibe. So because it was a tech company, I was kind of really inspired by like Upbank, because Upbank has this thing where they are a bank and they provide something that's like really serious and really like proper, like banking, but they kind of make it like cool and fun.
What's it called?
Upbank.
Upbank. Do you know about this?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
He's a wealthy dude.
it's it's like the hip, cool bank that
Yeah.
young people
It's
use.
backed by Bendigo.
Yeah, it does
Oh,
like
shit.
does like
This shit.
free international transactions and shit like
how
that.
many times has someone given me one of these hats? And I'm like, what's this Dorito ass shit?
Yeah, man,
Oh, it's the hip bank now.
they got a cool brand.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
That was
So
great. It's like classic. I don't even know how to describe that stuff.
yeah, it's like it's really cool and they have like really cool concepts and stuff. But I think that kind of changed because like when I first started working there, I was kind of like an outsider. So I was like, oh, like an outsider looking in what I think Tixel was.
Yeah.
Because like I've only used it, but I've never developed like that relationship with it as a brand.
Yeah, right.
And that was kind of like what my manager wanted. So she wanted us to be like more community focused because at the end of the day, we are a marketplace. And for a marketplace to function,
yeah.
you kind of have to have like the buyers and the sellers. And you kind of have to like build ecosystems from there. So like for Facebook Marketplace or like even Gumtree, like for people to even buy stuff, you have to have sellers. And for like the sellers to want to sell stuff, you have to have buyers.
Yeah, right.
So
Just thinking about it seems like a basic concept, but it's flying over my head. Right.
Which
So-
came first, the seller or the buyer?
yeah, exactly.
Let me think about that for a bit.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah. True. Okay.
So do you, the sort of brand identity that you have now at
Yeah.
Tixel, is that all you're doing?
Yeah.
So going back then, did you study graphic design or did you study
Yeah.
media? Was it graphic design?
I did. So I studied. I did a master's in communication design, and I did it in like that room, like
Yeah.
over there.
Actually, like, oh my god, the camera's panned to the fucking room in the corner.
So I was always in that room because my course was in that room, and then COVID hit, so I didn't have a classroom for like a whole year. But I spent 2019 and 2020 at design school. But I guess I worked at like other places before this. So I worked in beauty. I was at this like skincare brand, and then I was at this sex toy brand called Vush, where like I think
That's
like
a good name.
But they're like a big...
Oh, you're also a consumer of Bruce.
No, I
Should pan to this
there's
guy.
posters at like Carnegie Station and stuff.
Oh,
they have
yeah,
a big
yeah.
brand.
Targeting the southeast suburbs.
It's
Actually, wow.
a lot of soccer mums in Brighton,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, shit. I still don't know what the actual product is, like specifically, but we don't have to go into that. Right, so you worked for them.
yeah.
Did you say you worked as a vet before?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like I went to vet school, which is why I came to Australia because you can't do vet in Singapore. So I had to move here.
Why is that?
Oh, so because we're small as fuck. So we're like an island that's like 32 kilometers wide.
Yeah.
So you can imagine that's like from Brunswick to Tullamarine, that's 20 kilometers. And that's
That's
like
the size
nothing.
of Singapore.
Singapore's like 10 kilometers wider than that. So it's like
Seriously?
yeah.
Holy shit. So, but why? So
There's no space to have
wait,
animals.
Clarify one thing for me. Is there no, like, are there vets at all? Or is it difficult to get a job as one because there's already too many?
Like, do the people in Singapore have pets?
What do
Like-
you do when your crocodile eats another crocodile?
You're like, do people in Singapore have pets? Like,
Yeah, do crocodiles exist there? 'Cause we're talking about our basis. How he has like a pet croc, but we're not going to go into that.
doesn't
Shit,
have
actually.
a fucking
We'll call it later,
crocodile.
confirmed, yeah.
Just doesn't have one.
Right. So how many times have you kind of like switched, I guess, careers? Or do you feel like it all kind of bleeds into one? Like, can you pull like stuff that you've learned in as a vet into graphic design?
I feel like that's a super interesting question because like I initially I grew up in Singapore, and in Singapore they have a school that's like specially for kids to do art, so you have to like audition to get in.
Oh yeah.
So I did like media art stuff, so I knew how to use Photoshop, I knew how to do all that stuff. And then before I left to Australia, my teacher was like, are you sure you want to be a vet? Like I think you're really creative, and it's such a waste if you like do something that's not creative. And I was
Yeah.
like, I'm so sure that I want this, and like I think that I can do it. But then like 4 years down the road, I was like, I hate this because it's like 7 exams a semester, And like I didn't want to be a vet tech because I did like attachments and placements and stuff, and I was like, I think this is not for me.
Yeah.
So I went back to Singapore. I did like an internship for like 6 months, and I was like, you know what? I really like being a graphic designer, and I want to do it. So I started out purely as a graphic designer, and like I guess at my first job, that's how I found out that I was actually really good at design specifically for social media.
Yeah.
And at my second job at Vush, they actually had like, so basically we used to have a social media manager, but she left, and they were trying to find someone to replace her. But I ended up making some content, so it was basically like memes and stuff, and they did really well. And they were like, oh, you know what? You should go into more of like a content role. So like still do design and stuff, but also have like more say in like the strategy and like what stuff we post and what we put out. And I was like, cool, so I'll do it. I'll just make memes about sex. And they did really well. And I was just like, cool, I guess like I'm in the content space now. And I guess like one of the things that helps so much from doing science is that like most creative people, most designers, they don't understand numbers. So if you ask them like, what's the value of your work? They can't tell you that. But if you're at a startup, especially where you have investors, you have like all these people who are like interested in like putting money into you and stuff, you need to be able to like put that shit into numbers.
So you can quantify that.
Yeah.
That's so if I said quantify your work, could you quantify it right now? That's crazy, but you can like statistically show, right? The engagement.
Yeah.
Right. What other stuff can you quantify?
So I guess like basically whenever you post something on Instagram or you post something like an ad and stuff, you can calculate like the click-through rate, you can calculate like the engagement rate, you can calculate the reach, like, and what I do a lot at my job is that I like put all of that into spreadsheets. I like plot them out into graphs. I'm like, this is what we've achieved, like, and this is like the increase of engagement rate from when I started versus like now.
Yeah.
So it's like, so like being able to like show that data, explain it and interpret it.
And do you feel like employers value that?
Yeah, I think they do, because like a lot of the times, like it sounds really sad, but a lot of companies, they'll look at your designs and they'll be like, oh, this looks super cool, but what does it do? Yeah. And then they'll be like, oh, anyone can make this. And then that's when you have a problem, because then you're like replaceable in a sense.
Which is the classic, like, I guess, conceptual art and visual art problem, right?
Yeah.
Especially now, it's like, well, anybody could make this. I mean, a computer could make this.
Yeah.
A big thing about our course, I'm studying advertising here, and like a big thing about our course is analyzing data and analytics. Like it's a creative course, and you obviously produce content.
Yeah.
But as importantly to the course, it's justifying that and justifying choices you made. It's not just like, here's a funny video about sex or whatever, or here's a funny video about crocodiles. It's like,
because if you can show people why that funny video about crocodile sex
and if you,
is important, then you no longer have to kind of just, I don't know, like I don't know what the right word is, but just like you don't have to explain yourself anymore, right? The numbers do the talking for you.
Well, advertising is a great example for left brain, right brain, because it is the blend of creativity, but also you're working for someone. Then you get briefs from clients and stuff. At least we do mock briefs that are, you know, you have deliverables, and you have what clients will want a 20, 25, 30% increase in click-through rate or in retention rate, like that. Like they give you data that you need to hit for that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like such a mindfuck.
But then you have to find You have to find a creative solution to do that.
You know? As a graphic designer, not full time, like you, but like, I've always found it. I mean, I found that a lot of my mates who are artists have a real issue with the like giving up that part of your identity. People are very precious with this, especially with style, right? And I think a lot more artists than maybe designers, because designers go in with the goal, like, we're going to facilitate this process for you creatively. Yeah. But an artist is like, this is my body, this is my soul. Like you know, and when you take that away from them, that's when big issues kind of arise. I wonder how many people are doing either now. Yeah, I wonder if there's any artists going into advertising. I know lots of drummers go into advertising. Every drummer I've ever worked with is fucking in advertising.
Well, you run the Instagram for our band. That's a full-time job. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's not just posting like, here's this gig we're playing and stuff. That is a full-time job for you. I see how you run that.
Yeah, and I feel like it'd be the same for you. Like, you would get do you have to turn notifications off? You'd have to.
I feel like I'm on, like, so basically I only look at like like comments and like likes and stuff.
Yeah.
But in terms of like our like the DMs, the customer service people have that linked up to like Zendesk. So whenever we get DMs, like they speak to them because like there's some like technical stuff that sometimes like I don't know.
Yeah.
So and they understand the platform more than me.
Yeah.
So like I'm mainly on the fan side. Like if someone leaves a comment or if I see like a fan video, like that's how I found out about Campbell.
Shout out Wake Up Campbell. You get to shout out in every second. Yeah, great guy. True. Okay. Yeah, because I was thinking about that. I wanted to sort of touch base before with what you were saying with your schooling. Did you, if we can talk about
Yeah.
that. So you went to school in Singapore.
Yeah.
And did you do IB?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so I did as well, but IB was very, very different, our experiences. Yeah. I remember we spoke once about creatives in Singapore, and I don't know how I actually this is like an area, because I know there's many layovers that I'll probably need to take in my life in Singapore. God forbid we touch any nerves here with people, but what is sort of, because they're trying to inspire lots of young creatives, right? To compensate for what, like a lack of creativity? Do you know, could you like speak on that in any way?
I guess Singapore's like an interesting one because like we were a country that was colonized, like every other country in Southeast Asia, except Thailand.
Yeah.
So, and we kind of, and basically like the guy that, how do I explain it? So he was like a politician. So his name is Lee Kuan Yew, and
Don't bleep that word.
Okay. so I think
we're getting into the swamp right now. It's very crocodile themed.
So I guess okay, wait, I'll start again because I think it's easier to. Okay, so Singapore's like an interesting one because like as a country we were colonized by the British, so we're a Commonwealth country, and I guess like for the first few years that we were independent, so we went through World War II, got colonized by the Japanese, whatever. And then when we came out of World War II, they were like, hey, like we want to, I guess, like progress economically. So for a very long time, I think for at least like a few years, few decades actually, Singapore kind of prioritized jobs that would actually lead to like economic development. So like during my dad's time, it was like a really popular thing to be like an engineer.
Yeah.
So they wanted like doctors, engineers, lawyers, because like those were the types of people that we needed at that point in time. Like 100%, like we wouldn't, like a lot of the developing countries in Southeast Asia, like they were destroyed by the colonizers, like couldn't do anything, like didn't have the resources, like had to like clean up what was left after the war.
Yeah.
So we were a bit luckier that we didn't have to do that. But because like one of like our founding fathers, I guess, like Lee Kuan Yew, like he was educated in the UK. So he was like, okay, like we need to like start from here. We need to like develop all these things first before we develop a culture. So back then when I was younger, I used to like resent being Singaporean a little bit because I was like, oh, we're so not creative, like we're so like not whatever.
Yeah.
But then now that I'm a bit older and like I've moved overseas, like I've seen things, I'm like, okay, I kind of understand why he did it. Like at that point in time.
Word. So you understand why, like
yeah, kind of.
Word. Because like I guess like what would that be like, seeing how difficult it is to just get a job and just all that stuff, and seeing like maybe I'm scared to name this guy. I don't even know how to say his name. I don't want to call him Lee. I mean, I don't know if this is, but yeah. So moving specifically here has given you like a new kind of view on that.
Yeah, I think because like in Singapore, like with, I guess like with the way things are, like public housing is really accessible. Like we may not own the land the entire time, but there's like accessible housing for everyone. Like we have good healthcare. One of the things about Singapore is that wherever you pay your taxes, you really, really see it in the infrastructure of our country.
You're right.
So like, for example, like on the roads and stuff, they have those things that like block the cars from like smashing into
Oh, yeah, we got a few of those now.
Yeah, so like, yeah.
Bollards.
Yeah,
yeah. I don't know what
like
they're
the
called.
big concrete bricks
Yeah.
outside the street
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they have to now, but
Yeah. So they have them in Singapore like almost everywhere, and they actually work like when cars accidentally like fly into the
accidentally.
Yeah.
You accidentally get a car to fly.
Like when cars like hit stuff, like they actually do something. So I feel like when you like the money you pay to the government, you see put back, and
bullets.
I think yeah.
That's crazy. That's cool.
Yeah.
So
And then we got the Singapore Grand Prix coming up this weekend as well.
Oh,
Shout out
yeah,
to
we
my
do.
F1 Donnies?
I hope there's no bollards in that.
Probably not. Yeah.
Oh, it is this week. Is it this
It's
weekend?
this weekend, yeah.
Oh, so we have like Kylie Minogue and Lenny Kravitz
Oh, doing
playing
what?
at,
they get
the,
huge
at the F1
artists.
concert.
Lenny
the
Kravitz
Blink-
is a huge artist.
Yeah.
Kylie Minogue
Yeah.
is a huge
No,
artist.
yeah. No, I mean, like, you know what I mean.
Spinning around.
No, there's always a photo that I think, but we can't bring up the photo of Lenny Kravitz, but it's always like, burnt into my... Do you know what I'm talking about?
You mean when he had like the hole in his pants?
Yeah.
That was a Bush ad.
That was the first Bush. That was how Bush was created, actually, after that photo. True. So, and then I guess, is the reason that they are doing all these programs, because are these new programs for creative people? Because now they're trying to, like, incentivize the culture. Now they're like, okay, we're good with the infrastructure. Let's, like, let's do something. Because, like, do people... I guess what I'm asking is kind of strange, because... in Australia, you obviously people like there's ways that people can sway you or deter you from being creative. You don't have to explicitly say it. You can say being a musician makes you fuck all money, and people are already not going to want to be a musician. You know what I mean? Like it's a subliminal thing. But if creativity wasn't a part of the culture up until recently, like a new like first or second wave, I think you said that the program was when we last chatted.
Yeah.
Does that mean that people aren't creative at all? And like, does it reflect to that extent? Like, people just don't draw in their free time and like paint and stuff. Is it that extreme?
I think people in Singapore aren't necessarily like the most creative people, which is a little bit sad. But I think why I saw benefit in the high school that I went to was because like it was subsidized. So like for in Singapore, if you wanted to do IB, you would have to go to like a private school to do it.
Right.
And basically like all that stuff, like having teachers who like specialize in art, having like the proper resources to do it, like having all that stuff was going to cost a lot of money. And I had some friends who came from like single parent families, like, and with like 4 siblings, like had to always like provide for their family. And because they went to my school, everything was subsidized for them. So they were able to like become a designer, become an artist. And it gave opportunities to like a lot of the younger people that may not have necessarily had that same opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that was like the biggest benefit of the school that I went to. And I think that's what I mean by like, I think the investment from the government was really
now
great.
it's finally paying off after a while.
Yeah.
Do you know how recent that would have been? That like IB thing?
Maybe, I think I was in high school like 10 years ago. It's like...
So fresh.
Yeah, so
like
so
after
relatively
indie rock.
Fresh.
Hey, at least you guys had it. There's still countries that don't have it, you know? Shout out to North Korea.
Post Coldplay.
Post Coldplay.
Oh.
Yeah. We always end up back at North Korea at this show, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Every episode, for some reason. Usually me. That's the reason. True. Do you think there's any other countries? Is there any... I mean, I don't know if you would know this, and I don't know if Sam would know this, Googling or falling asleep. It's passing the fuck out. Is there any country that's, like, thriving creatively?
I feel like the rest of Southeast Asia is.
Really?
Yeah.
The whole thing?
I think Southeast Asia is, like, really cool. I think not being home for a while has made me feel like a little bit sad that I'm not there to like participate in the culture. Because I saw Speed.
Shout out. Repping the merch.
Oh, I love them always. So I saw Speed like last month, and they actually brought a band from Singapore to tour with them. They're called Fuse, and back then, like when I was in Singapore, like we would have like metal gigs at like a fucking like community club. And like the tickets were like paper, like no digital tickets because they were all like probably illegal or something. Yeah. And like you can imagine, like if you saw Parkway Drive at like a fucking random ass like shack or something, even though they were huge at the time, like this was when like Deep Blue was popular. So you can imagine like Singapore, we didn't really have that culture. But then now it's nice to see that like, you know, like they are touring with some of like the biggest bands in hardcore. Like we have a hardcore scene that's like growing. Like back then, the biggest metal band in Singapore was like Wormrot. They're like the first Singaporean band to play Glastonbury. So like back then it was like, oh, like Singaporean artists like almost non-existent. But now they're like coming to Australia to tour. Like there's like people online who run Instagram pages just to like highlight bands from Asia. So like there's this Instagram page called like Unite Asia. He writes all about like all the bands from Hong Kong, Taiwan, Thailand, Southeast Asia, like everyone. So I think that's like, it's good that like, you know, we are like reaching that stage. It's like, I think I've told you this before, like before I guess like Speed came up, I was like, wow, I've never seen people, like that many Asian people in a band in heavy music that was from like a Western country. Yeah,
for
I feel like that was like nice to see.
And also, I guess, what's the type of music that you could define Speed as? I guess like hardcore?
Yeah.
As like a general term, obviously there's more to it. But like hardcore music, does it have roots in Singapore? Probably not, right? Can it have roots in Singapore? Okay, well, how old is hardcore music?
It's probably not that old.
It's probably not that old, but I wonder if it's like new enough, you know? With like, I'm still thinking as like when you say like they opened these schools that the floodgates of creativity just like flung open and Speed just came driving out in a fucking ute or something. But I mean, it's cool. Like I can relate in a way and also can't relate in a way because like being Argentinian, I don't see many depictions of. I guess hardcore's a good one because hardcore's arty, it's punky, it's a mixture of all these things, metal, thrash. But I've never seen. We were talking about it over pizza yesterday. You weren't there, were you? No, you left. Dogged it. There was a few of us that were talking after practice. Salvador, who made the theme song for this, a guitarist, also Argentinian, and we're talking about grants. And he's like, I think he said like, if we play music that sounds Hispanic. Or whatever. Maybe he didn't say this. I'm not going to quote him just in case. I said this for the record. It's like, if you play music that sounds like the kind of music that you would play, like is it archetype or type? Like typecasting yourself, basically.
Stereotype.
Yeah.
Stereotyping yourself, then you're more likely to get a grant because it's easier to make that connection between like, oh, this is what the band looks like, this is what the band does. But then you get a band like Speed that's just playing this crazy ass shit that is like, I mean, like you said, like you've never seen that depicted before. And that's wild, right? I haven't seen it with Argentinians yet, to be honest. I think every time I've seen an Argentinian play, they're always in like a fusion band at a festival or some shit. You don't see a frontman, like an Argentinian frontman repping that. Sometimes we think of ourselves in Australia like very like future forward, but if you just take a second to kind of just like think about it, you go, fuck. I think it's because are we a first world country? We have to be, right?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Shit, dude. Why'd you even say that? It is interesting to think that because we are a first world country that there's so many things that we could be doing more, but we're kind of lax on them as well in terms of pushing like cool cultural boundaries and stuff like that. But it's good to know that Speed's doing it. That's pretty mad.
You do see, like, especially in the last couple of years, even the last 2 years, you see a lot more, like, Western artists as well touring Southeast Asia that you didn't really see before. Like, maybe some bands would go to, like, Bangkok, but now you're seeing bands do Manila, Bangkok, KL, like, all, like, they're doing, like, 6 or 7 dates.
What kind of bands are we talking about?
Like, huge, Green Day, like, big Western artists.
Band I care
Lords, Dua Lipa, like, all these big artists who would maybe used to go to Tokyo and Beijing and now doing that stretch because there's more facilities, bigger stadiums there now, and there's more of an appetite for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really cool.
It would be super exciting as well if you're playing somewhere that's literally never heard it.
Olivia Rodrigo is playing Manila, and her tickets for Manila, because she's Filipino, they're like I think she has no dynamic pricing on them or something like that. Because dynamic pricing is like fucks with everything.
What can you explain dynamic pricing? So
basically, like, I don't know how to like put it in a way that's
we
like.
can bleep it.
Okay. So basically, I don't know if you've seen, but like for Oasis, you know how like when fans go on there and they're told that a ticket is $200.
Yeah.
But then, they buy the ticket and it's like $400.
Wait, hold on. So when you bought it, it said up until the time that you put your credit card details in that it was $200.
So you know how for when you buy a ticket. So for example, like I want to buy a ticket to Dua Lipa. And then I'm like, they tell me that the price will be $200. And I'm like, okay, it's $200. And then when I go in, dynamic pricing then pushes the price up because like so many people want to buy that specific ticket. It becomes $400. And I have 7 minutes to enter my card details to pay for it. And at that point in time, I'm just like, fuck it, I'm going to pay for it because if I don't pay for it in this 7 minutes...
You're never going to get it.
Yeah.
And it'll be $700 next time.
Yeah.
And then
$400 for a ticket. And
2 weeks later, it doesn't sell out and there's no one else wanting tickets and the tickets drop to $100.
Yeah, the tickets drop back down. And that's why...
Like, shouldn't that be the cure to dynamic pricing?
So...
Well, they're facing big
Because I feel like
Yeah. Or you cannot say it.
Okay.
You know what? Yeah. Say,
Only if I
say
can have the other thing cut out. I feel like one for me, one for you. I want my thing from before cut out.
All right. Yeah. I'll send you the audio. You cut it yourself, motherfucker. Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
actually, yeah. So basically, dynamic pricing is a thing now because like basically it goes by what the fans want, but that's debatable.
Right. And so then what's the other alternative to dynamic pricing is fixed pricing.
Yeah.
Is there a name for that? Did you mention it before? Was it
Like capped pricing.
Yeah.
capped
Or
pricing?
capped in, like, I think some places, like, it varies a little bit, but it's not going to go up 200%. You know what I mean? Like, it might go up $30-$40.
Yeah, right. Is it
Yeah.
stuff that the fans... This is an interesting one. Is it stuff that the fans know before the companies?
What do you mean?
I
Like,
think
can a fan know something that a corporate exec just can't? Is there some way you can dig?
Yeah, like the cost of milk.
It's like, I know what the band's true worth is. I've got it on the spreadsheet.
I think nowadays it's like public knowledge because like with the cost of living getting with everything getting just like more expensive, like for example in Oasis, like the people who would go for that, they probably wouldn't go to a concert like ever.
Yeah.
And then they would probably just be like, oh, like this is the one concert of the year. Like that's a lot of the people who see like Harry Styles or like Taylor Swift or Dua Lipa. They would
Right,
pay.
it's just like one show, right?
Yeah.
One big extravagant affair. You just go
Yeah.
like the footy, basically. It's the
Yeah.
same kind of deal.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
footy isn't
But the footy-
$180 a ticket to go see someone at the Sydney Myer Music Bowl. You know what I mean?
No, that's true.
And then, you know, on top of it, then it's all leading to, it's why we're seeing festivals die as well, you know? Which is like the biggest epidemic here at the moment in the music industry.
Yeah.
And
I mean, we've had what, like 6 festivals die this year? Big ones?
Yeah.
6.
Dude, Spilt Milk.
I'll put a sound effect after each of
Each
these.
one
and
do a
they'll-
ding. Spilt Milk. Falls.
Yeah.
Technically, it didn't come back.
Splendor.
Splendor,
Splendor got
obviously.
cancelled. Shit.
What was the other one?
I don't know, but we were supposed to play
Sam
all of
Davies.
these, so we're going to lose a lot of money.
BTV's around somehow still.
Yeah.
It's literally BTV
Meredith is
Laneway.
playing its last one, so that's our next year.
Blues Fest is
Blues Fest
done.
is-
Oh, no, Meredith
Yeah.
isn't playing its last one, Blues Fest is.
This is the last one for Blues Fest. There's a couple more that have
So we actually have like a
Groove in the Moo. Groove in the Moo died.
Gonna-
Splendor, Pitch.
Pandemonium. We're just listing all like a graveyard. Damn. Yours and ours.
Yours and Ours is
got
gone. Harvest
cancelled.
Rock, which only
Wait,
lasted
yours and ours
3
was
years.
cancelled. I
Yeah.
thought they were coming back. No? Oh.
I don't see how a festival can take a year off and come back when you have such slim margins.
I actually thought their lineup last year was pretty good.
Who's on it?
They had like Descendants, strangely enough,
that's true.
in Wollongong, which is interesting.
Yeah, I think when they
Yeah.
played that actually. Yeah. And when you're in those areas, it's always the same fucking bands that get the gigs because there's nobody else. Like, oh, that guy. Always. He's on every.
They
like-
just played, didn't they just do One Night Stand in Wollongong the other day, Triple J's festival?
Oh yeah,
The
when I
like
stand.
regional one that they do. That seems to
It's like
somehow be
$10
around.
tickets, yeah.
They pick a random place each year and pop up and do a show. It's
Yeah.
a cool idea, but at the same time, like if it's just a one night
Yeah.
thing and then you've got
I'm just
laneway.
wondering something that I'm not sure if this is even a thing. So this could be a really good idea for you guys. So you guys could, well, not you, but you can make a lot of money from this. But like local, like because people always keep saying DIY gigs are coming back. DIY gigs are making a return. That's what Connor from Teenage Dads was saying and all that.
Lulipalooza.
Lillipalooza. But like, are these gigs? I'm just wondering. A lot of these DIY gigs, do people ever resell tickets to DIY shows? Can DIY shows ever get big enough where like they'll appear on Tixel? Do they?
We
What's the
do
cap?
we do really small shows. So like some of the hardcore shows that are like at like the Workers Club
Yeah.
or like even I think like Bad Decisions. Like we've sold tickets. We've like
You resold tickets at
Yeah.
Bads.
yeah, because like if they're on any.
Wouldn't have sold three tickets.
As long as they're on like any of the ticketing platforms, because like you know how all these DIY shows they're on like Eventbrite and stuff. So as long as we have like integrations with those, like
Yeah.
we can sell them on Tixel. So I feel like at Tixel we basically sell like everything. So we do this medieval festival in Adelaide. It's really funny, but their tickets sell really well, and like we work with them all the time. We don't discriminate. I think for us, like, I think the good thing about Tixel is that everyone likes music, like everyone does all this stuff for fun.
Yeah.
So whenever someone comes up to us and they're like, hey, like, we want to work with you, we're like, why not? There's this one that we do in the UK called like Little Orchard Cider and something festival.
Yeah.
Can't remember the name, but they have like their own theme song and they're in the UK. And I was like, this is so cute. I love it. Like,
That's cool.
they have their own theme song.
Damn, if only we had that.
Yeah.
In a working studio.
Salvador.
Yeah, true.
What was the last gig you saw?
What was the last gig?
Yeah.
So I think in terms of like concert, or like not a concert but like a gig. So my last one I think was like Speed at Stay Gold. It's like the all ages show. And then last weekend I went to Marlo. So like this is DJ called Marlo from Sydney, and like he's like a trance DJ. But he's kind of like one of the most popular DJs in Australia. And like he has this rave called Altitude that he does like all around the world. So he has it in like Southeast Asia, he does it in Australia. And like I used to go to that rave like every year, like way back then. So I'm really into like hardstyle and trance. So like I used to go to his raves all the time. And then like
Sorry, this gimbal went crazy. We have a gimbal and we're filming. It went full Dr. Octopus. Please continue. I was wrestling with that shit so bad.
so and then my friends were like, hey, do you want to go this year? And I was like, oh shit, I haven't been since like 2019. So I was like, why not? I had a ticket to it like 2 or 3 years ago and I sold the ticket because I just didn't feel like going.
On Tixel?
Surprisingly, no, because like
Did you do it?
I sold it on Instagram because I think someone asked me about it.
Sure.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, you can have my ticket. But yeah,
Tixel was such a good idea. I guess still just can't get over the fact that it like didn't like how recent is it?
it's like 2019. I think they founded in like 2019.
Damn.
I think a big part is just for the buyer is the insurance of knowing that you're protected.
Yeah.
That's a big one for anyone. Like I remember I had tickets when I was like 17, I think, maybe 16, to an all ages Youngblood show. So when Youngblood had like one EP out, and me and my friend
Oh my
loved it because
God.
the early Youngblood was kind of scar.
You like Youngblood?
When I was 16, I loved Youngblood
Oh my
and
God.
Green Day and Blink-182.
Yeah.
And we fucked up the dates and we couldn't go. And I like posted on Facebook to try and sell the tickets. This lady was like, yeah, I'll buy them off you for like $50 each or whatever they were. It was 50 for the both of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, sweet. And then she messaged back and she was like, oh, I just got an offer from someone else for like half the price. So if you sell them to me for half the price, I'll buy them. And I was
Really?
like, cool.
Oh,
And then I like sold it, and then it was like 4 years later I was thinking about it, and I was like, there was no offer from anyone else.
I think the hardest part
Youngblood.
about like Facebook Messenger deals or like Facebook deals is that
Yeah.
like, do I send you the ticket first or do you send me the
Yeah.
money first?
Yeah.
It's like that. You're like, and you're like, oh shit, you know.
Yeah.
I hate that so much. Or like, you know, when you're in like a Facebook group and you're like, I need a ticket, and then like 5 bots comment the same thing, and their
Yeah.
profiles were like made
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Tixel's always been really reliable. Like, I'm always so surprised when I can find exactly what I want there. Like, very rarely have I not been able to like buy a ticket. I'm pretty cheap.
I've never had issues with it.
Never,
I haven't
no.
used it
Never.
that much,
Oh.
but every time I've used it, I've gotten tickets that I needed.
Word.
It's bitching.
What would be something, I guess, you'd like to do outside of this kind of realm? Like, if you weren't working for Tixel, where would you kind of go from here?
I feel like Tixel's like an interesting one because like I got the job because I knew a lot about like music and like the live music scene specifically in Australia.
Yeah.
Because we had like my manager in the UK who knew a lot about like the UK stuff, but they needed like a marketing person in Australia that knew about like all the stuff. Like I remember the first time I spoke to my boss, like I was talking to him about like all the venues that I've been to, like all the gigs I've been to. Like I think I've been to like almost every single venue that like all the metalcore bands or like hardcore bands play at.
Well, in Melbourne, you'd be
Yeah.
every single show.
Yeah, so like I've been to like, and then I know like what ticket, like I guess like what ticketing providers we have, like how fans react and like what their behavior is, which
Yeah.
is like super important for a brand like Tixel where we are like a startup and you need to know like what's happening.
For sure, like as a graphic
Yeah.
designer, you need to know what's like popping up
Yeah.
and what looks good and what's
Yeah.
happening. Otherwise, how do you tie the visual
trends,
identity to?
everything.
Yeah. And I think like music is basically like my whole life. It's like where all my friends are. It's like what I do on the weekends. Like it's like I'm obsessed with like pop culture. I
Yeah,
love.
so you're actually properly immersed in the culture.
Yeah. So like for me to be like, oh, like what do I want to do outside of Tixel? I'm like. But I think before then, when I was still like working in beauty brands, when I wasn't like that I wasn't super passionate about, I was still doing like illustration on the side. So I would like draw stuff on Illustrator, like post
Yeah.
little cute things and stuff. But I haven't done that since because I've been so busy. So I'm like, oh. But eventually one day I'll get
Yeah.
back to it.
Or maybe would there ever be? I don't know if you're allowed to talk to this, but I feel like it's pretty harmless. Like, would there ever be a more, I guess, illustration-based angle to Tixel as well? Like, would you ever start doing like full like drawings and stuff like that? Could the brand ever go in that direction?
Dan's trying to get a job.
Shut the fuck up! I was asking for you. I mean,
I feel like
it's not all about me.
I feel like we're at this like interesting stage in Tixel. I guess I can like say that stuff because like it's what we were talking about just now about Upbank and everything. Where when I first started at Tixel, I was like, cool, like we're like a tech company, so we should have that tech company sort of angle. But then like going into it after a few years, I was like looking at all the brands in that space. I was like, I kind of like the DIY vibe more because like everyone at Tixel is like everyone at Tixel is super DIY. Like everyone helps each other out, and like the people who have been there the longest, like the founders and like some of the people in the ops team, like they sell the brand so well, like they know so much about it.
Yeah.
So whenever I'm like trying to come up with new stuff, I'm always like, hey, like, can we sit down and I just want to ask you like some stuff, like, what are you doing now? What are you up to? Like, what do you think of this? And as long as they're on board with it, it's like cool. So like I started incorporating more like textures and stuff. Because like I think that's like the vibe right now.
Yeah.
Because like I think it's in music, so many brands kind of like pigeonhole themselves into that electronic music vibe that I think is super cool. And I wish that I knew how to design like that, but I don't think it's very us as a brand. Because I did show like my boss a couple of things. I was like, hey, like, what do you think of this? And he's like, oh, I think these are like too cool for us. Like, I think we're a bit more like scrappy. And I was like, cool.
Yeah, right, cool.
And yeah, and I guess like our office is at Revs. And if you've ever been to like the Revs smoking area,
Never.
have you been in Revs? Have you been inside?
We played, well, not with Harry, but like my
At the
old bands
cage?
played the cage like 7 times. Yeah.
So you've been to the smoking area, like you know, like the vibe.
Yeah,
Of,
I
like,
still
yeah.
don't know because you once told me how to actually get to Tixel, but like, my memory and recollection of that is that it's like you go underground in this tunnel that connects both sides of Chapel Street together, but that can't be true, right? That's not how it
It's
actually.
like so they're connected through the smoking area.
Is there a lot of other creative like spaces around that area as well? Is it like a co-working kind
So
of space?
Proof Doof is actually right next to us.
See, I still don't understand how that's possible since it's on the other side. It was on the other side of the street.
Oh, so they are like Chasers. It's like all the way at the other end of Chapel Street. I think they own it. I actually don't know much about Chasers. I've only been there like once.
Yeah.
But like their office is like directly next to us.
This is a good space.
Yeah.
They broadcast Sin from here, don't they? Sin Radio? They broadcast from here?
No. So, fun fact. Well, it's not a podcast space, but I actually can't do it because I'm over 28. Over
Really?
25, sorry. So I've had to bunker in this room.
Really?
Well, you can't
Yeah.
use it if you're
I can't use it. I can't go in there. There's an alarm that goes off as soon as I try to go. There isn't an alarm, but I can't.
Why can't you go in there
Are
if
you
you're above
joking about the 25 thing?
No, I'm not joking. It's a youth radio, and it's a weird thing that like our definition of youth is capped off at 25 though. So then, what the fuck is 25 to like 40? Geezer? I'm confused. Yeah. What's like the kind of the general age range of the creatives that are working around you at Tixel and also around that space? Is it like same age as you? Or?
I think right now, like I'm the only creative at Tixel probably. Like that's in Melbourne. Like I would consider my manager a creative, but she's in the UK. She's like 2 years older than me.
Oh, but if she's in the UK, she can't be creative.
I mean, in the office, I guess. Like I would be the only.
How many
creative.
people work in the Melbourne office?
Maybe like 20 something in Australia. We have like half.
Wow.
We have half the team in Australia,
Far out.
and then like maybe 15 people in the UK, and then one in America because we're trying to grow in America.
You said sorry, there was 20 something
Yeah.
people in the office.
Yeah.
And so all the other roles are more technical? Like technical?
Yeah, so like we have more like operations stuff, and like most of the marketing people at Tixel are growth marketers.
What does that mean?
So they do like digital marketing stuff, like SEO, SEM, ads, and everything.
Do you know what that is?
Not really.
So basically, like they're like you know how like they have those memes where they have like the marketing people that are like numbers and graphs and all that stuff. Like, so everyone at Tixel are like those sorts of people. And then there's me and my manager who are like the kind that are like hee memes, like every brand has like those two sides, like two types of marketing people.
Yeah.
So they work a lot with like budgets and stuff. So they get given like they get given amount of money, and then they like run ads, and then they tell us like what ads they want made, and then we make the ads for them. So my manager usually writes the copy, and then I'll like compliment her copy. So like it's kind of, so it's kind of like they are like more like of the numbers people, because I guess at startups, knowing like how fast you're growing in terms of like numbers is super important to like investors or whatever, or like whoever wants to, so like it's totally different from like what I do, because like brand side stuff, a lot of it takes time. So for example, like we did this thing in the UK where we worked with, I guess, like, so drum and bass is like huge in the UK, right?
Yeah.
So I guess we worked with a lot of influencers who produce like drum and bass content. And then for some reason, they like it takes about a year, because like all these festivals only happen once a year, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of these people have to like hear about us, and then they have to try us out for something before they start recommending it to us, recommending us to them. So like they like kind of like picked up on Tixel from these influencers that we worked with. And then the next year, like their biggest event, Boomtown, traded so well because like everyone knew about us. So like that sort of brand stuff, it can be like super hard to justify, because like it takes so long for a fan or a customer to get so-called converted. But then
that's an interesting word.
It's like it's like
sounds like a blender.
So basically, like for like e-com and stuff where I used to work, they would call that like a conversion. So basically, like how many people clicked on an ad and then bought it. So like that's like very numbers based stuff.
Yeah.
That is super easy for like e-com, because they can attribute sales to like actual numbers. But for us, it's like what's considered like when do we consider it like, like a full cycle? Is it when someone has sold a ticket? Is it when someone has bought a ticket? Or is it like kind of both? So it's like it's an interesting one as a marketplace.
True.
Yeah.
That's some real left brain, right brain stuff right there.
Yeah, especially as a secondary marketplace.
Yeah.
That's a tough.
It is, yeah.
Secondary marketplace.
So there's
You're
like
not
the
primary point of ticket sales.
Yeah. So it's like the primary ticketing companies, and there's the secondaries.
Can there be a third? No, there can't be a third, right?
This is lots of secondary.
Yeah.
Lots of secondaries. Damn. True. Interesting. How much time do we have?
55.
55? 5 minutes. We're using the last 5 minutes that we have. Is there anyone you want to shout out? Is there anything that you want to say to the people?
Oh, I should like totally plug this thing that I was telling you. I don't know if I told you about it. So basically, like we run this like ticketing report with these people called like this agency called Bolster. So they do a lot of like the cool stuff in music. So they do like Laneway, they do like all their marketing stuff, and so they are like really on point with all the like culture stuff.
Yeah, right.
And we do this like, if you guys ever want to like read up on like basically what the industry people have to say about like all the festival stuff, like things getting cancelled, where fans are going, where they're spending their money, where like what they're interested in, like whether festivals should be like genre specific or whether they should be like multi-genre festivals.
Yeah.
You can like check out that report.
So what's it called?
It's called the Ticketing State of Play. I always plug it to people in the industry or like people who like music, because like all my coworkers.
That. I feel like something we need to believe. That's too much power, too much information.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like
do people know about this?
It's more of like a B2B thing, but like I think anyone can basically sign up and download it. So like I just tell people, I just give it to all my friends who like music, because I'm like, oh, if you're interested in like, like learning about, I guess, the festival scene in Australia, like what's happening, then you can totally like check out that report.
Do you feel like if more people get informed about that, we could do something about the state of music?
I feel like it's like a quick one. I feel like it's an interesting one, because like some of the people said that basically like festivals kind of have like a turnover rate where it's like they'll be cool for like a short while, and then like they'll kind of like stop running, but then when they stop running, a new one comes in its place
by the same people.
By like similar people or like different people or like
People who look the exact same but different. Can you say clones?
So I think it's like
clones?
it's like interesting to see kind of like that life cycle of a festival.
Yeah.
So like I think people are kind of thinking that right now, like, you know, it's a bit of like a touchy subject, like all the festival cancellations, because people are like, oh, this looks so scary, like, is like Australian music dying? But I think it's kind of like, it depends on who you ask.
It's like a metamorphic. What the fuck am I saying? A
Metamorphosis.
Yeah, but can you say metamorphic period? Ooh, how's that for a new word? How's that for a buzzword? I mean, could you say that we're like, I mean, in like a hibernation kind of stage rather than like a complete, just, you know, because when we think about music, especially us two as musos, I don't know what you see out there. Well, yeah, you're the same. Like we see a wasteland, right? For us, for like local artists. And I guess it would be nice to be hopeful about the future and say, well, maybe it's a wasteland now, but out of every good wasteland that's ever happened in music, something great has happened from it. Australia has never had the indie sleaze boom. Australia has never had those things.
The band is dead though. The band
is a concept.
No, the bands, in general are dead. Everything is solo artists now.
Do you think solo artists do a lot better than bands?
Completely.
Yeah.
Who would you say is the biggest band in the world at the moment?
Besides Oasis.
I was gonna say Oasis.
Besides,
but I guess like Australian wise, who do you think?
You wouldn't even be able to name an Australian.
You can say Tame Impala is just one guy.
It's a band on a technicality, yeah. For me, I would say like
I think King Giz at the moment.
Are the biggest Australian band.
Well. Yeah, I mean, King Giz.
Probably a good answer, yeah.
And King Giz is like a good one. They also get brought up every second show as well.
I feel like Americans love them.
They're so much bigger over there.
Yeah.
Australia has a better grasp on that kind of music than I would say Americans do. So that's why when they finally see, the wacky Australians, I feel like King Giz is like a really good representation, actually, of
like
Australian punk.
As a foreigner, I feel like I can tell when a band is like Australian, because like, so you know how like there's this very specific type of like, so in Singapore they call it like Australian metalcore, which is like Alpha Wolf, Make Them Suffer, Parkway Drive.
Yeah.
So it's like they have this like sound that's like, so I think I've talked to you about this, where like someone said that like every single metalcore band in Australia sounds like Swan In, because they have these like squeaky harmonics that are just like so characteristic to Australian metalcore. So like it maybe to like Australians, like, because it's always like that, like you never realize the cultural impact of your own country until you're like outside of it,
unless you have like an immigrant's perspective on it. I feel the same way. I definitely am viewing it from a different lens. A lot of the things that I like and the things that I hate because of that. Like slight, I mean, it's what makes us quite different, right? Music taste.
For sure.
Yeah,
it would be nice to be hopeful about bands. I think there needs to be more. We always talk about this as support systems for them, but
I think going back to what you're saying, but I think there's just a lack of excitement about solo artists versus bands. Like I think bands exist in the live arena. Far more than a solo artist does, you know.
Like a band should exist in the live arena. Like that's what it's for.
Someone comes out, like obviously these artists come out and have amazing live bands, you know. Some don't and they play the backing tracks and that's whatever. And some, you know, Dua Lipa's got a fucking 10-piece band or whatever. But it's a different thing and it's, I think, less appealing than going and seeing a band. I think a band exists more in the live spectrum.
I think if there could ever be an argument for going out to see a show, it's because there's a band.
I agree.
And if there's if there's any reason to even go out and do it, because people, you can order literally, you can order anything to your house. You know what I mean? As I found out the other day.
Dua Lipa?
I did not order Dua Lipa to my house. That sounds terrible. But you can pretty much, like, convenience is so, and it keeps coming up on these shows, no matter what industry it is. It's like convenience affects everything, and we can get anything. We can eat anything. I've got this delicious meal. I don't even know what the fuck it is, but it's fucking delicious and it's convenient. It's expensive, but it's convenient. I think there is a plateau to that. There will be a point where all this, I sound like Awesome Wells doing an end of the world fucking podcast. Shit got dark there for a second. But I feel like there will be a time where like that kind of convenience like plateaus and there is a desire to put effort into things, whether it's put your shoes on to go outside on a cold day and go see a band, because quite frankly you've been raised on brain rot and you need to go out, you need to see people. Maybe we're reaching that stage. Hopefully, you know, I'm 28. Hopefully I'll be around to see it or be a part of it.
I still feel like, even though I'm someone that likes like music from bands. Like sometimes like seeing a DJ like just one guy is just not as fun. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but like maybe I'm biased.
In so long, but I listen to a lot of like Channel 3000 area. I can't fucking remember the name. One of the two's like podcasts all the time, and some DJs can do like really interesting stuff with their visuals. But I guess is it still DJ if it has like live elements to it? Yeah. Can you? Or is that what? Set? Like if you were playing live stuff.
What, like Fred again? Or you mean? Like if he's playing the pad.
Yeah, I feel like Fred again is like a
DJ. My personal opinion is that it's not the same. It's its own thing, but it's not.
Flume, yeah.
I think Fred again is a pop star.
Yeah,
more than
at that point.
Yeah.
Someone like Flume, I would say as well, is like a pop star, not a DJ. Even though, and I love Flume. I think Flume, whatever the genre is, what's it called? Future bass. Flume did more for Australian music than probably any artist going on the fucking record. That shit is fucking crazy, and he's always delivered. But when you see Flume live, it's one of those things where it goes back to that kind of DJ set. As good as the music is, it's so fucking hard to reproduce. Yeah. He has to throw, like when I saw him, he was like, what was it? Not Laneway. It was Listen Out. Yeah. And he was like throwing pots of, like plant pots over the stage. And I'm like, you've gotten bored, sufficiently bored to the point where we are here now.
The irony is that they have the freedom to change up their set for live stuff more than a band or a solo artist.
Yeah.
But it's still a different.
I mean, I'd have to bleep it, but I don't have to bleep it. It's my show. But I mean, he ate ass on stage, right? Like, that's how...
Yeah.
That's the production
That's what we got to do at Dole.
Yeah, that's literally what we got to do. And that was a while ago, but maybe that was like a spooky premonition to the state of affairs. The moment he did that, everything was changed. Cool. We definitely ended up somewhere that I did not expect to. But thank you, Hui Min, for coming on the show.
No worries.
And we've been Left Brain, Right Brain, and thank you to Sam on Tech.